Cha cha cha, Igbo kwenu, owe. Cha cha cha, Igbo kwenu, owe. Cha cha cha, Igbo kwenu, owe. Abia kwenu, owe. Anambra kwenu, owe. Ebonyi kwenu, owe. Enugu kwenu, owe. Imo kwenu, owe. Nigeria kwezuonu. Hello, friends, families, and loved ones, my favorite and dear viewers and listeners. I welcome all of you to my Igbo segment known as Let's Learn Everything About the Igbo. I am your host, Mazi B.O., a full-fledged Igbo son and the teacher of Igbo language, culture, and traditions, including general issues that affect the lives of the Igbo and those of the non-Igbo, as the general public. All right, today we're going to continue from what we stopped about OLULU or OLULU NWAANYI, about marriage in native Igbo land. The other episode, there are a few things I forgot to include, one of which is I did not tell you then that as the man's people would embark on the journey, trying to find, on the journey to the maiden's homeland to find out everything about her, whether she's freeborn, daughter of the soil, Wadiala, as Igbo people would call it. As the man is undergoing, the man's people are undergoing such process to knowing more, about the group the girl belongs in. The same way, the girl's father is also doing their own inquiries as well. The girl's father for life, or the uncle, or whoever that replaces the father or the uncle, would also embark such a journey as well to find out who the man that is getting married to his or their daughter is, whether he is a freeborn as well as their daughter. So the two parties are doing this, the man's people and the maiden's people as well. So, and when I was growing up, there are a few things that I noticed. One of which is the lady then would be asked to fetch water for every home in that community in which she is getting married. So she would have to do all that. The reason behind that, as they would say, was to find out how strong the lady was. So whether she would be able to work, because then they would always believe that once the man got married to the lady should be able to do farm work, all the domestic chores. Unlike these days, when you see things like that are no longer done, and nobody asks any lady to fetch water for all the homes in the vicinity, or maybe to see how strong she is by engaging her in some tough home chores, domestic chores, or farm work. Things like that no longer exist. So I think modernity has really wiped off all those things. So it's all about her ability to make money these days, the trade she learned. Probably she's educated and she has a job she does for a living. These are the things that the people are more concerned. People from the groom's side are more concerned with. While the other side, the girl's side, the maiden side, they are interested in finding out who the man that wants to get married to their daughter really is, what he does for a living, whether or not he is capable of taking care of their daughter in terms of clothing her, feeding her, accommodating her, and what have you. So these things are very, very important. So they hold them in esteem. I mean, people from the girl's side, their father, their mother, the uncle, the elderly people, their uncles, and all of them. So they would want to know the kind of man their daughter is getting married too. So when these things have been ascertained, then um, the father will give his blessings. Remember, some young men would choose to pay the dowry of their wives on the um, Egwanku or Ekwanku day. That is what we know today as traditional marriage. Remember that this Egwanku or Ekwanku started all the way in Igbo land, traceable to Anambra. Parts of Anambra. They started this Egwanku, um, spending flamboyantly, to see how wealthy they are, so to show that they are capable of taking care of the woman when she finally becomes their wife. Even though they have done every other thing, observed the dowries and what have you, they will still do the Egwanku. And other states in Igbo land have copied this Egwanku or Ekwanku thing, also popularly known as traditional marriage. So that's just it. The main thing is that the man should be able to pay the dowry, observe things that he needs to observe. Those things on the list, at least 70, 80, 90. Even if the man is the wealthiest in the whole world or in the country, he wouldn't want to kind of whatever the in-law rights there, whatever that is written on the list, on the marriage list, he will pay. No. So those things there, like I said in our previous discussion on this same topic, that they are contestable, reasonably contestable. So once the man has been able to do what is acceptable, like I said in the other episode, that the man should ensure that he's been able to handle what the women of the community need and what the men of the same community need. Then his future in-laws, the girls' mothers, that's the man and his wife, sometimes in some occasions, if they actually love or have accepted the man that wants to get married to their daughter, would ask him to observe the wants for the women and the men of the community and leave theirs, because they always believe that the root or the road between in-laws never closes. So, why the woman, that is the kinsman, will always want to collect whatever that's accrued to them, whether or not the man is rich. And in some cases, some men, some suitors who actually had genuine intention to get married to the ladies left and never came back because they were chased away with voluminous list content, so they never came back. In that manner, most eligible spinsters lost their first batch of suitors, okay, induced by greedy in-laws, a greedy kinsman. All right, that's by the way. But what I'll still maintain is that anybody that intends to marry in Igbo land is free to do so. As long as you love our sisters, that particular sister of mine that you want to get married to, okay, you actually love her and are capable of taking good care of her when you both become a man and wife, go there. We welcome every shade of life. Just come as long as you're fit. You don't have to be the richest of all the richest, or the richest of all the rich, the richest of the rich for you to come to marry our daughter. We're interested in, her sound protection. So are you able to protect, everything that concerns her? If you're capable and willing and ready to do that, then you're welcome in any part of the Igbo land. Okay, so that's how we do that. We accept anybody. Okay, we accept anybody, especially that Igbos mainly are Christians. As long as the person is a Christian and we know what the person does for a living, it's not occult. It's not an occult person. It's not someone that will jeopardize the life of our daughter. Then he is welcome. And we Igbos as well marry the men, intermarry from non-Igbo segments or non-Igbo towns as well. So you know how it is. So you expect somebody that is nice to marry your daughters, and we, the Igbos, also expect people that can be trusted to get married to our daughters, because we don't want our daughters to suffer. So most of the things that used to be done in the past, when I was growing up as a lad, are no longer tenable. No lady fetches water these days for the entire hamlet for her to be certified as a very strong woman who will be fit and able to undergo certain home chores, domestic chores. Nobody does that these days. Modernity or the contemporary world has changed everything entirely. So it's all about what you can afford to do as a human being, the woman and the man. All right. If you are coming to get married to our daughter or any of our daughters, please make sure your intentions are open and transparent. That's all we need. We don't want someone who is the richest of all the rich. No, we want someone who is able, fit, prepared, and ready to take care of our daughters. All right? Which means you have to have a job that will be able to make you achieve all that. So that's it. So just as I said, Igbo is just ceremonial. It's not something that has to be done by everybody. Some people would want to kind of organize a small party. In some cases, the only thing that is compulsory is that the people from the man's the man's in-laws, you don't tell them how many people they are going to bring on the day you want to pay the dowry. They might decide to invite everybody, okay? But at least you have to know, have a slight idea about how many people are coming. But on your own side, you decide how many people that go there with you. Your kinsmen, you decide who and who that should go with you, so that the weight of the expenses won't be much on you. So what really matters is that you pay the dowry and the things that are contained on the marriage list. So any other thing that is done is ceremonial. They aren't compulsory. All right, guys. If there are other things we need to talk about, typical OLULU NWAANYI or OLULU NWAANYI in Igbo land, marriage in Igbo land, I will let you people know as we progress in this lesson called Let's Learn Everything About the Igbo. All right, guys. From me to you is bye-bye and have a good night's sleep. Love you.